In the beginning, we are introduced to two gods that are referred as the children of day and children of night. Since the age of myth, they have been sworn enemies and fought battles against each other. This feud has since been passed down to humans. While the children of day are viewed as heroes, the children of night are viewed as villains in this society. There's commotion at the bank. A villain grinning maliciously emerges from the smoke on a circus ball. The villain then yapping that even the villains rotting in hell dream of ascending to heaven. Police at the scene frightened. About to do a move, the villain spitefully says to the crowd of people, "Welcome to the Ralph Show." A cop yelling, "Everyone watch out." The villain comes down, crashing, impacting the surrounding area with his death ball. The villain revealed to be a rank A villain, Ralph the Clown, a summoner. Trembling, a cop attempting to shoot Ralph the Clown. Ralph, noticing, starts charging up an attack, while saying that people don't know their place. Twirling, stopping his pin while exclaiming, "Adios, sucker!" He hurls the pin and maliciously grins, causing a massive explosion. His lackeys in the bank robbing the place. The workers in the bank tremble and screech in terror. A villain demands, "Give me more money!" Then another shouts, "Want a hole in your head." A worker frightening tells them to spare his life. The lackeys ready to hit another bank. A school bus going fast comes to a stop, the bus being the getaway vehicle for the villains. The villains notice heading towards it. Ralph the Clown drops down towards the ground in front of his lackeys. Takes some money, excited like a creep about the money he is holding. He begins with his usual yapping about how he wants to build an amusement park suited for his clown as. The lackeys still heading towards the bus with a child and a woman. One of them tell the bus driver to open the door up. The door finally slides open. The villain mad, telling him why the bus driver took so long on opening the door. The bus driver yelling back at him that the door takes forever to open and that he is a fool. "Who is that?" The bus driver confused. "It's our hostage." "And who's the kid?" "This is the princess, the daughter of the governor." The lackeys managed to get both the wife and daughter of the governor, hoping to get a good ransom for them. The bus driver eyeing them. The governor's wife was rushed and fell to her knees, pleading to one of the lackeys to let her daughter go and that she is only a child. "Shut your mouth already." Continues to get dragged. The kid called Jessica cries out for her mom, the woman still being pulled more inside while crying out for her daughter. "Stay still, kid, or I'll spank y'all." The lackey now teasing the kid. "Let her go." The lackey's confused on who this man is. "What?" He grabs one of the lackey's face and demands to let them go. The lackey screeches. Another screamingly says, "What the hell are you doing here, you bastard?" The man turns. Once again, we are reminded that there are two kinds of people with special abilities. There are those who commit crimes, driven by their desires. They are the descendants of the child of night. People call them villains. Ralph the Clown and his goons proceeded to run towards the bus, unaware of the commotion which is going on inside the school bus. Ralph, ready to get out of there, grabs onto the bus latch to get into the bus, but then all of a sudden one of his goons comes out flying from the side of the bus window, shattering the glass on impact. Ralph becomes still and froze about what is going on. Then a mysterious man suddenly comes out of the back of the bus, dragging one of Ralph's goons by his jacket. He then proceeds to throw the goon on the floor. The lackey did not even stood a chance. He was completely knocked out. Ralph becomes flustered and tries to figure out who this mysterious man is. The man responds in a gentle and cocky way that isn't it obvious. Soon Ralph the Clown becomes terrified, realizing this isn't just a regular person, but a psyker. To be clear, a psyker is a descendant of a child of day in this world. Then it's revealed who this unknown psyker is. Rank S. He is a striker. His ability is fire. Cassian Lee also our protagonist of this world. Cassian grins, enjoying himself. It appears it is not the first time encountering Ralph, mentioning he hasn't seen him in a year. Ralph questions why he is there. Cassian takes off his earpiece so no one can hear what is about to go down, burning it. Now it's just him, Ralph, and his goons are alone, terrified of what is about to happen to him. Cassian fires up an attack, letting them know he won't be showing any type of mercy. In a city brimming with people, the news reporter mentions how there is an outcry to what the psyker did to the bank robbers, that he used excessive force. and how the Human Rights Committee officially sent a request to Lampus to punish Cassian Lee for his ruthless, violent acts. Lampus is the name of an international organization of psychers. Now in Washington at the Lampus office, Tuppence Schiller Rank S is a psyker. Her ability is light, being that she is a mage. She also is the director. She begins to question Cassian if he is a villain. Cassian, getting frustrated, crumples his cup. Cassian, now pissed off, tells her how she could compare them to him. Tuppence Schiller fires back with what he did, and how with his recklessness Ralph got away. Now the public has turned their back on them. Cassian tries to justify himself by saying how those bastards had laid their hands on a hostage. Tuppence Schiller explains that is the reason why he should have been more careful, that hostage safety comes first. He should have known that already. Cassian says he was confident that he could be saved them unharmed. The director getting visually pissed off. Tuppence Schiller demands that if he is a psyker, he should act and think like one, telling him to think rationally and to act calmly. Just cause he thinks something is right, that doesn't mean it is. The director, really mad, tells him to look at the consequences and how what he did isn't much different from a villain. Tuppence Schiller suspends Cassian for the time being and warns him to stay out of trouble. Cassian storms out of the Tuppence Schiller's office, annoyed by the director, calling her a cold-hearted iron witch. Cassian wonders how Jeff could even befriend someone like that. Cassian, ready to get out of the building, gets a sudden phone call. The person calling is Jeff. Cassian, confused, why is Jeff suddenly calling, questioning him? Asks where he was at. Jeff said, "Rhodes." Cassian, confused, yells, "Rhodes? Is that in Greece?" Shocked, Cassian arrives at Rhodes International Airport. We can see Rhodes is a beautiful major city. Cassian, inside a tea shop in Rhodes, mentions how nice it is there and should thank Jeff, thinking to himself that it has been a while since the last time he has seen Jeff, the last time being about 6 months. Cassian spaced out and remembered his past times in the orphanage, amazed at the animals moving and excited wonders if they were alive. Jeff says there are just dolls that he can make moves with his abilities. Still awed by his abilities, he tells him if he is going to be a psyker, where he can beat up villains and be on TV. Jeff is not sure. He thinks he is not good enough. Cassian, younger self, ensures he is wrong and he is cool. That was 2 years ago, after he was sent to an orphanage in the U.S., Cassian missing those days where he didn't have any worries. Some time later, the tea shop is now closed. The sun is starting to set. Cassian is still waiting for Jeff in front of the tea shop alone with no one on site. Cassian notices it's late already and not responding to calls, thinking something happened. "Cassian!" Jeff appeared from behind, hurt. Cassian still confused. "Jeff." Cassian asks what has happened to him and if villains were behind it. Jeff flops down to his knees, not having strength, in a fragile state. Begins to talk about how he shouldn't have brought Cassian there. Cassian asks what he is talking about. Jeff hands Cassian a mysterious necklace. Cassian saying that's not important right now and that he is hurt real bad. He says he's fine, then coughs up blood. Cassian now visual concerned. There is no time. Get out of here. Screaming at Cassian. If not, he would be in danger also. Still not understanding, he starts to call an ambulance. Cassian notices something, looks over Jeff's head. A mysterious figure coming from the pitch-black shadows with a sword and white glowing eyes in all black approaches. "Who is there?" Jeff, terrified, and with the last bit of strength he has, shoves Cassian. Jeff glares at the black figure, now sprinting toward him. With his sword, slashes neck right off, falling back. Cassian, in a state of shock, seeing his friend head detaching from his body, his head in front of Cassian on his knees, traumatized, not being able to comprehend what just happened, calling out his name. The figure dashes on top of a roof, escaping. Cassian, mad, starts to chase the person who just beheaded his friend. Cassian followed the killer to a coast of the ocean. It was dark. The moon was bright. Cassian, finally catching up to the killer, exhausted. "You bastard! Did you do it for revenge, or did someone pay you to do this?" Cassian, not caring what the reason it is ready to fight. Begins to charge up his flames, stating he will fry him where he stands. The unknown person told Cassian that he is talking with his foul language again. Cassian shocked. "Jack?" Turns out the killer was an other psyker, a rank S. He is a knight, his ability physical, so like combat and strength. Cassian still wondering why Jack has killed Jeff, shaking with anger. Jack stating he was merely taking out a traitor. Cassian not sure what he's talking about. Another person comes behind, confirming Jeff is a traitor. The woman claiming that Jeff has killed one of them and have proof of it, even Lampus leaders know of it. It is another Pisker from Lampus. Her name is Lyra, rank S, a mage with the abilities of ice. Jack mentions that Cassian is also a suspected of treason. Questioning Cassian when was the last time he spoke to Jeff, glaring at him, and to tell them what exactly they were talking about. Cassian says Jeff was working as a psyker for more than 10 years, and he has not killed a single person. And you are saying he killed a psyker. Lyra reminding there are 2 other top-class psyker. And to not do anything rash, Jack telling Cassian you're a psyker, so act like one. And this is his last warning. Cassian smirks and says, yeah, you're right. I am a psyker, so I should act like one. Rational and calm. Cassian with bloodlust. Now looking to kill them, starts dashing towards Jack with his hands being on flames. Jack quickly pulls out his sword with his right hand, throwing out a slash. Both face to face, Cassian lands a power blow with his right fist. Jack blocked and jumped back. Sword on hand, it began to glow blue, and used a technique called Shadow Sword, making 6 other sword appear. Lyra joins him in the battle with her ice, prepares a cold blast. Cassian ready to take both of them on. Jack and Lyra both firing off their attack hit. Cassian taken back a little, then dashing towards, then to attack. A loud bang was heard, nearly missing Cassian's head, but hitting his torso area. Cassian in pain flops down to his knees, realizing the other psyker was a sniper. Lyra telling Cassian to surrender or the next shot will go to his head if he doesn't cooperate. Cassian with his crazy ass tells them to go to hell, firing his hand up, attacking them with his technique called Hellfire, causing a massive explosion, sending Jack back and making Lyra block. Cassian began to ran it, using it as a distraction. He jumps off the cliff onto the ocean. Another loud bam, he got shot midair. He fells towards the ocean below, splashing into the ocean. Cassian was slowly losing blood while sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Cassian, in his thoughts, not wanting to go out that way, wanting to at least get revenge. The necklace begins to light up and glow. At a bathroom now, we see a kid in a toilet about to die because of some bullies. The bullies, like the cowards they are, flee the scene. The water bubbling with the head inside the toilet. He was alive, pulling out his head out of the toilet, drenched in water with his necklace glow, and stands up from the ground. Soaked in water from the toilet, he wonders where he is and exits the bathroom stall. As he walks, he realizes his voice sounds different. When he sees himself in the mirror, he exclaims that he fell from a cliff, and his voice now sounds like that of a child, confused and disoriented. He washes his face, hoping to wake up from this dream. However, he soon realizes that it is all too real. Cassian is now in a new body and location, Gangugwan in Korea. Memories flood his mind, memories that do not belong to him. As he looks at the necklace around his neck, it begins to glow. He hears an anonymous voice say, "You're awake, Cassian." But then he looks around, shocked and surprised, trying to figure out who spoke to him. The black necklace, adorning Cassian's neck, starts to exude an enigmatic black smoke, accompanied by a distinct whooshing sound that echoes in the air. Amidst the swirling darkness, a faint silhouette gradually takes shape, materializing into a mysterious black figure. This sudden apparition catches Cassian off guard, leaving him in a state of bewilderment and shock. The black figure, adorned with a single piercing eye in its middle, addresses Cassian with a voice that resonates with ancient power, declaring, "My name is Moros. I am a mighty spirit from times long past." Cassian, still grappling with the surreal sight before him, musters the courage to inquire, "What are you? You emerged from my necklace and I can't comprehend what I'm witnessing?" Moros, unfazed by the query, responds with a cryptic grin, "I am not a mere what? That's beside the point. You must have countless questions, and I sense your curiosity. Don't you want to know?" The eerie eye in the middle of Moros's form fixates on Cassian, creating an unsettling stillness between them. Outside the school, Cassian finds himself engaged in a questioning session with Moros on how Moros brought him back to life. Moros, seemingly exhausted from repeatedly explaining his actions, reflects on the countless times he has reiterated the same information. Despite the weariness, Moros, with a touch of humor, acknowledges Cassian's Korean by saying, "Your Korean is pretty good." This prompts Cassian to share a personal story, revealing, "I used to live here before I was adopted." Inwardly frustrated and going on with what is happening, Cassian reflects in his own mind, "Damn it. I died and then came back to life. This doesn't make any sense." As the realization slowly dawns on him, Cassian is left pondering. Moros says, "Jeff gave me to you, remember? He did it to protect you." Cassian responds, looking towards Moros with surprise. "To protect me." As the realization sinks in, Cassian reflects on Jeff's words, wondering in his mind, so what was Jeff aiming for? I remember he was searching for some kind of sword, pondering the details. Moros, sensing the curiosity, speaks ominously. It is a sword called Mark, the Sword of Annihilation, an ancient sword, crafted during the War of Myth a long time ago. Cassian asked Moros how he could know what happened a long time ago. Moros claims it's because he's a mighty soul from ancient times. Cassian not buying it, thinks it's all nonsense. Moros tells him to listen and learn if he doesn't know anything. Cassian gets butthurt. How could he trust, and what justification does Moros have? Moros explained that he had to sacrifice half of his power to bring Cassian back to life. Sacrifice? I don't believe that either. Cassian didn't believe anything. Since his is slow in the head, apparently. Cassian looked through his phone and something caught his eye. A news report claiming he killed Jeff. The news reporter said he had become corrupt and was supposedly taking money from villains to do favors, and Lamps caught wind of this, sending Jeff out to take care of Cassian in a secret operation, successfully killing him. But in the process, Jeff was killed by Cassian. Of course, this whole story was fake and made to look like Cassian the bad guy and covering up both Cassian's and Jeff's death. Cassian was modified and furious, denying the accusations, knowing the story was manufactured. He accused others of framing him and making it look like he killed Jeff, his best friend. Cassian, in his frustration, started to transform. His eyes glowed, and there were loud flashes. He transformed into a different half-being, not sure what was happening and confused about what he had become. His fingers took the shape of claws, pointy with agile edges. He held his face with his monster hands. Huh! What the hell is this? He looks down at his hands, unsure of what he has become. Meanwhile, in a little alley near the school, 3 thug school kids hang around, chatting about how some kid is taking forever. The guy with purple hair tells them to stop whining, and the person they're waiting for will arrive soon. Both the nerd kid holding the bat and the blondie aren't patient. A big nerdy kid starts to run up to the 3 thugs in the alley, holding a black bag, exhausted. "Look at him run. Pathetic loser," said Scarface. The other kid with the banana cut agreeing with him. Scarface asks, "Did you go check?" The big nerd responds, "Huh, oh yeah, but there isn't anyone in the bathroom." Both Scarface and the blondie are shocked. The nerd with the bat asks the big nerd if he's sure that he didn't see anyone. Also, if he saw any police or ambulance. Banana Thug gets mad since the nerd with the bat said he died and that he wasn't breathing. The bat kid was sure he was not breathing. He checked himself. Scarface tells the big nerd to leave, snatching the bag from his hand. The Banana Thug is still pissed off since the skinny nerd got him freaking out over nothing, and it's his fault. "Enough," says Scarface, expressing relief that the loser didn't get killed. The blondie asks him what he's going to do about him now. Scarface, slurping his juice, tells him he's going to screw him over again. From a bird's eye view we see Cassian chillin' on a wall atop a building with Moros in front of him. Moros, being a little shit, says, "Oh, so you decided to come up here and hide, huh? Smart move, Cassian." Cassian, getting tired of his shit, says enough of your crap, and to tell him why he became a villain in the first place. Moros, with a devious grin, dismisses Cassian's temper. Moros begins to tell Cassian that he was meant to originally die, but now that he returned to life, he alternated his destiny, and that the real Gangu, the body he is in right now, was supposed to be reborn as a villain, which had the potential to bring the apocalypse pretty much. Cassian, when he heard Apocalypse was devastated, that this fate was brought down to him since he was brought back to life. In disbelief still, he realizes the deep shit of the role he got put in. Cassian, going a little crazy, start laughing like, ha, 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 I used to be a top-class psyker and now I'm a villain. Cassian, speechless and shaken, contemplating the gravity of what he must now become, knowing he can be capable of mass destruction. In a fit of rage, Cassian smashes the wall, yelling why Moros brought him back. Cassian acting like a little ungrateful bitch right now. Moros tries to calm him down and tells him to control his emotions. Cassian tells him to shut up. Moros begins to explain that villains are born beyond reason, driven by powerful desires, and that he should be feeling the malicious intent deep in his mind. Cassian reluctantly acknowledges the truth. Moros ensures that he can control it for the time being, but fears that his growing rage may become uncontrollable, and not even he can do anything about it. Moros concerningly tells Cassian if that happens, stop. Enough. So am I a villain then? In that case. Moros, trying to encourage Cassian, says, you must live on, and that's what Jeff would have said to him right now. What? Moros reveals that before Jeff saw him again, he regretted involving Cassian into this and that he knew his death was near but didn't choose a way out of it, but instead give the last hope of survival to him. Jeff sacrificed himself, placing his last hope in Cassian's hands. Cassian, disappointed, contemplates Jeff's sacrifice. A few minutes later, I assume. Moros, mocking, says, you're calm, well done. Keep it that way. Cassian, pissed off, tells him to stop bossing him around. Moros says, oh, well, have your way if you don't want to go back to your human form. Cassian, with his sorry-ass self, finally says he will. Hey, Cassian calls out to Moros, and he gets annoyed, saying, I have a name. I'm Moros, the mighty soul. Cassian responding, just what are you? Stop bullshitting me. All that mighty soul stuff. Moros grins and says, do you want to know? Cassian pretty much says, well, no shit. Why would I ask? And also, if Moros can bring back a person back to life. Moros cuts him off, saying, you'll soon find out once you find the Sword of Annihilation with me. Cassian responds, that again, that sword thing, the Sword of Annihilation. Is it linked to Jeff's death? Moros responds, yes, I am sure of it. Someone else on top of the roof yelled, hey, loser. It is Scarface and his two other goons. Look who we have here. The bastard lives. Scarface smirks like a psycho. Cut to the school building. A few girls are looking at what appears to be something amazing. Oh my, he's so hot. My God, he's even hotter in person. We hear girls mumbling and talking about how hot this dork is. I can't tell, because I'm not gay. It is trainee psyker Uchan Kim. His rank is unknown. He's a striker and his abilities are fire. His phone starts to ring, buzzing. Somebody's calling him. It's one of his colleagues. Hey, Sionbei, what's up? Oh, that? They're chattering in the background. Something appears to catch his eye. Looking out the window. I'll call you back later, ending his call. Appears that he noticed the little commotion going on top of the roof with Cassian and the thugs. The three thug kids standing in front of Cassian. Cassian just looking and chilling. Recalls that these are the kids who beat up and killed Gangu. He glances at Moros. Oh, don't worry. Other people can't see me, ensures Moros. What the hell, you bastard? You really freaked us out back there, you know that, said the blonde kid, pointing his finger at Cassian. The nerd kid seemed relieved. Scarface says, Gangu, don't you know the drill? Slides out a little cig of the packet. You wake up, come straight back to us. What are you doing hiding all the way up here? Looking annoyed and pissed off. You done yet? Cassian said coldly. The three thugs were surprised, staring at him. I'm in a real bad mood today. Beating up kids isn't really my thing. But I'll make a little exception for you couple of thugs, says Cassian, cracking his knuckles. Moros warns Cassian that even in his human form, he is much more stronger than the average human, and that if he doesn't control his power, he might catch three bodies pretty much. I know, said Cassian. Ha! What now? Thug with the banana cut stepping toward Cassian. What are you muttering about? What has gotten into you, freak? Crazy to say when he got on that hair. Cassian just glares at him. Banana Hair glancing back at him and gets pissed off because he's not intimidating enough. What the hell are you looking at? Says as he goes to smack Cassian with his hand. As he does, he gets hit so hard. Didn't even notice. It was a clean hit with Cassian right hand. The nerdy kid with the bat and Scarface. Not sure what just happened. Cassian ready to get down with somebody else if they try him. The banana dude flopped down to the ground completely knocked out. Scarface in his head. What the hell? What did that loser just do right now? Son of a... I'll kill you, bastard, as nerdy kid with a bat starts rampaging like a furious rhino toward Cassian. Of course Cassian sees him coming with all the yelling the nerd is doing. He leaps towards the thug, blocking the bat with his bare left arm, and with his right throws a powerful jab, unfazed, spending the bat flying off the thug's hands and the thug crashing into the pavement. Scarface stunned, dropping his cig from his mouth. They're both out cold, both knocked out, said Scarface. Cassian shoots a disapproving look at Scarface. Cassian, trying that talk no jutsu, says, "Don't you feel guilty?" Bullying other kids, Cassian starts stepping calming towards Scarface. "What, cat got your tongue?" says mockingly, continuing to approach Scarface. Unfazed." Scarface smirks with a defiant expression etched on his face, looking like the Joker. "Huh, guilt? What's that? You gotta be kidding me! Trying to act cool, are ya? You freaking loser." Scarface, not caring about his action he has done, hysterically laughs. "Feeling cocky over beating up those two weaklings, are ya?" Scarface continues to mock Cassian. Cassian, aware that Scarface needs to understand the gravity of his actions, sternly declares, "You need to be taught a lesson." His gaze intensifies as he locks eyes with Scarface, a determined expression on his face. Cassian's fists are at the center of this resolution, almost glowing with an unseen force, symbolizing the power behind the lesson he intends to impart. The atmosphere grows tense as Cassian makes it clear that his fists would be the instruments of teaching. We start at the rooftop with a bird's-eye view. Cassian is sprinting towards Scarface. Scarface putting up his hands, preparing for what's about to come. Raising his hand, ready to hit him with his right. Cassian ducks the jab Scarface threw at him. Then Cassian hits him with a left. Scarface's eyes turn white, his head throwing back. Cassian, not done yet, goes for a right jab, hitting him right in the stomach, leaving Scarface gas without air. He held his stomach from the pain. Cassian looked down on him like a little dog. He emphasizes if he feels guilty, Scarface being a little bitch, tells him to go to hell and that he's a bastard as he's holding his stomach like a pathetic loser. Cassian realizes his lesson hasn't sunk in yet, and if he holds back, he won't get taught his lesson. He looks at him with his eyes that are sharp, daggering eyes. Scarface looking like he has a cold with a worried expression. Someone approaching says, "Don't you think he had enough?" It's U-chan, the one that saw the commotion from the other building. Scarface is surprised U-chan is there. Cassian replies, "Who are you?" As he shoves Scarface, making him waddle, U-chan says that Scarface isn't a match for him. What is the point of just beating him if he's weak? Scarface, with his ego hurt, says, "What? No match for him. He thinks I'm weaker than that loser." He gets pissed off, biting his teeth like the little bitch he is. As he charges towards Cassian from the back. What a pathetic move. Cassian quickly turns and then kicks him right in the chest again, dropping him towards the ground, crashing. U-chan grabs his shoulder. Cassian, as a cat that doesn't like water, gets irritated. He turns back with his eyes beaming towards U-chan, then elbows him with his right elbow. Surprised, U-chan blocks the blow with both of his arms. Cassian goes for a second hit with his left, but U-chan dashes back, avoiding the attack. Cassian is taken by surprise. U-chan quickly counters with a right kick, but Cassian dodges. Cassian admits that he's fast. Then Moro says he's a psyker. He's too dangerous to face head-on in his human form. Cassian, confused, distracted now. U-chan takes this opportunity and swings him with a right. Cassian dodges, burly dodging, but his right cheek is scraped under the eye. Damn it! U-chan A and Cassian are still in a stale. Ushan and Cassian both just glaring at each other. He's not sure if he's to believe Moro's saying if he's actually a psyker. Yu-chan glares at him and tells Cassian to stop this. Nothing good will happen if they keep fighting each other. Cassian's confused. He says, what? Yu-chan gives a bandage so he can stop the bleeding on Cassian's face. They both look at each other. Cassian snatches the bandage. He walks away towards the door. Yu-chan just looks at him, staying behind, wondering if he actually knocked out all three of them by himself. He wonders who he is. He glances at his forearm, realizing it hurts. Meanwhile, in an area to use computers, Cassius tries to get access to his Lampus account, but realizes he's out of access and his ID has been deleted from there. A little later, Cassius says, "How did you know that guy is a psyker?" Moros replies, "You mean that red hair we met a moment ago? When he touched you, I could sense his power." Cassian thinks a pretty cool ability. Moros brags about how he could do way more than just that. And that power analysis, he could find out a whole lot more. Cassian questions what power analysis is. How does he know about all this stuff? Moros brags about how he's a mighty soul and likes to delve into the world of knowledge, and tells Cassian why doesn't he change into a villain form now? That way he could analyze his skills more closely. Cassian just staring at him blankly with his phone out, bag of chips in his hand. Moros notices he's not interested at all. Cassian confirms he's not, but he might as well do it. As he crumbles up the paper, he realizes his villain's power is all he has right now. He tells Moros what he has to do. Moros tells him that villains are derived from not being able to control the 5 desires and 7 emotions. Cassian, being a dumbass, tells him it sounds difficult. Moros, getting annoyed, tells him that in this case, anger will trigger him to turn to a villain. Anger, says Cassian as he clenches his fist. He remembers the orphanage, Jeff getting killed, him fighting the Pirius battles with the Psychers and getting no-scoped. He starts to glow blue with lightning around him. His eyes start to go blue, too. He starts screaming, "Lampus, those bastards, I'll kill them all!" As he looks up to the sky with his arms balled up, Moros startled. "What are you doing?" said Moros. "I got angry, didn't I?" Cassian shouting. Moros says, "That's not how it works. Try to picture the anger in your mind." Cassian, complaining, says, "You should have told me that sooner. If we can get the amount of likes shown here, I will upload next episode as soon as I can. Please leave any feedback on the comments below." So with that, I want to say, thanks for watching. Hoped you enjoyed. See you guys later.